What's up?
What's up? I was over here just wilding out for a minute.
Oh yeah, that shit was bussin'.
It was bussin'.
Bussin'. Oh God. For real.
For real.
We're
Main character.
We're Muppets now.
We're Muppets now. So yeah, first time listener, welcome to the show. It's the Infinite Weekend with Zachary and myself.
Oh, don't say my full name.
Why? What's wrong with your name?
I don't like it.
Okay.
It's weird. You've never called me that before.
I have before too. Not like on the show.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, tell me your real name.
Zach.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my Christian name. You know, did you say my Christian name? All right.
Well, it's like
not on
this
this show.
Silence real out. Well, mine's Joshua, but like I feel like
I don't ever call you Joshua.
I know it's weird.
The only person I hear you call you Joshua is your wife.
Yeah, and when she says it, it's fine. But like someone else is, I'm like, am I in trouble? I feel like I'm getting audited.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Right. Or you're trying to fuck me or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm not right now. I haven't finished my coffee yet.
Okay.
Yeah, first time listener. Back to what I was saying before I was interrupted. Yeah, man, just shenanigans. Thanks for tagging along. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow, rate, and leave a message. Comment.
And share to 10,000 people.
Yeah, share it.
10,000
just share it. It
apiece.
just takes a minute.
Just 10,000.
I don't want
each person.
I don't want to gripe or beat a dead horse, but if you're already listening to the show, just share it.
Right.
If you've messaged Zach and I and been like, it's really cool, you're doing a great job, okay, take that little time. Or if you commented that someone posted their breakfast or they're losing weight and you're like, you're a fucking hero, we'll just take a minute and just share one of our posts.
Right. And then do it another 9,999
That's
times.
right. Correct. Yep.
We're not asking for money. We're not asking
money.
for much. We're not asking for, your life commitment here. We're just a simple act of sharing it 10,000 times. That's all.
Sharing is caring. You care about us, you'll care about the show. Share it. I got a little flustered.
Don't be mid.
Don't be
bussin'.
Right. I want us to be a main character in your life.
Right. Exactly.
You may be asking yourself, man, why is Zach and Josh using such cool lingo? Like, where do I learn that? And guess what, everybody? We're going to teach you the way. Because we got talking about this last episode. If you guys listen, if you haven't, check it out. It was the whole idea of this whole Gen Z Muppet look, as Zach referred to them as, where they have this particular hairstyle where it's like a bush thing on top shaved around, and it's like wear big T-shirts and little shorts and look homeless. And I find this group very fascinating. One, because most of them are pieces of shit, and then now we've looked up. Apparently, they have their own lingo, their slang terms. Like when we were in school, it was like that is tight and fat, like pH. But there's some new words. So I'm going to go through a couple words here. I want everybody to write these down.
Take notes. This will be on the final.
This will be on the final. So our first one's basic. So it's pretty cool. It's easy. Everybody said that shit's basic. His taste in music is pretty basic. Whatever. But then I got further down the line here, and there's someone here that I've never heard before.
See, a lot of these I have basic, basic bitch. Like, okay, that's
everybody's heard
I feel like
that.
I don't know if that's a Gen Z thing or not. I feel like that predates Gen Z. Basic bitch. Basic
Yeah,
bitch has been around.
Yeah, here's one I like called glow up. And if you guys want to know what it means, I'll do it.
I've heard of the glow up.
Yeah, to go through a positive physical, mental, or spiritual change. He had a major glow up over the summer. That's what it says. You have to say it like that too. High key.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
And picture yourself a Muppet with the hair.
High key love those shoes. Hits different. Used to describe something that stands out from the rest and makes you feel different compared to other things. So if you identify as a lamp or something, you could be like, my mom's cooking just hits different. That's cool. I'm dead. That was lame.
Dead's
Main character is one of my favorites. That's cool.
main character.
Debbie's definitely the main character in this group. Like, I think I'm going to start saying these in our work meetings.
I like Bussin'. Bussin'.
I haven't found it.
For real.
I haven't found Bussin'
Oh,
on here.
God. This one right here is pretty.
What do you got?
Is dumb. Bop.
Yeah, that's on here too.
So,
like that song is
listen,
bop.
listen to this song. It's a bop.
Yeah.
So I'll immediately, it's like, I'm thinking Kids Bop.
Well, Kids Bop, but what is that? What was that toy that you could get back in the day where it was like a bop it, where it had like a
Bop
thing,
it.
you had a twist, and you had to like hit it and then come back and forth? You
Bop
know what I
it.
mean? Was that what that was?
The name of it was Bop It, yeah.
Bop it.
My dad beat Pop It like 3 times.
Like
Apparently-
what do you mean?
You get to the end of it. Apparently, it's like 300. When you get
No-
to
no
300 and you win, and then if you do it, I think a couple more times or something like that, it plays a different sound. And then it says something like you've won or whatever. Put it down.
So like this. Hold on. I forgot about that game. We're about to check it out. It's from 1998. Check it, bro.
You remember this?
Hey, wanna play Bop It? It commands you obey. Bop it.
Look at this, dude.
Twist it.
I remember that shit.
Twist it.
Tap it. If
The
you can't
fucking
keep
kid with the
up,
bowl cut.
You lose. Once you get your hands on Bop It,
Dude.
you're not
Look at
gonna
your
let
token black kid.
electronic Bop It. Batteries uncluded.
Try Bop It. Like, what's funny about the whole thing is those clothes are making a comeback now.
Right.
Like that exact outfit.
Oh, I like how they're also they're like at the fucking fair, and they're all like just standing around playing the goddamn Bop It instead of like at the fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you do
Like
that at
you've
the fair?
literally gone to the fair and you're like, let's bring a board game. You're like, dude, and the parents are like, we just dropped you off
Exactly.
with money.
Right.
You could have done this shit at home.
This is why you don't have any friends.
But you don't have any friends, you Bop It freak. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah,
The dad like beats the kid with the Bop It.
yeah, but and then what was
When he
that?
gets home?
Bussin' was the new one.
Yeah, bussin'. This shit's bussin'. See, and I'm thinking busted. Shit,
That's what I thought. Like,
bitch is busted.
She's
right?
busted looking.
Right, she's
You're
all
right.
busted in the face.
Yeah.
But so now all you do is you just change the little bit of the end, and it's bussin', right? Shit is bussin'.
Well, here's one. Sending Me. This movie is sending me. You have to see it. That's supposed to be funny, but if someone told me that, I'd be like, I don't know if you should seek help because I don't know what that means. Or snack. Oh, I do like this one. A term describes someone you think is good looking.
First of all, the article that we're looking up here, we're looking at.
It's accredited.
It's Reader's Digest for fuck's sake. So it's
Yeah.
a bunch of.
It's real
So
life.
who has Reader's Digest? That
The
little,
parents.
right? The parents are making
Trying
this
to help
article.
them. Yeah.
They're like, I need to help out all my fellow parents to understand their children. That's what this article is.
They're looking like a snack today. I like that.
Because these stock photos of a bunch of teenagers like hanging out. Like there's a 3-way fist bump. Like it's just this is the goofiest article I've ever seen.
Do you remember when the fist bump was huge when COVID first got out? Everybody wanted a fist bump.
No, they did the elbow.
Well, I've been elbowed once, but I went in. This was like right when it was about to be over with this whole bullshit shenanigan. I went in for like to shake someone's hand. They were like, ah, and I was like, and it was like this weird fist bump thing. And I'm
Right.
like, and then of course someone went in to elbow me. I think Kylie did it. I mean, I was like, don't you ever elbow me in public.
You know what you should have done?
Ever.
You should have just like straight up grabbed their forearm like in the old
Oh,
days. Pulled
the
them in,
Rom-
like
the
kissed them on
Roman-
the cheek.
Yeah, men here do open mouth tongue kisses.
Yes. Women get high
Women
fives.
get high fives. I should have. Yeah, someone tries
Should've
to elbow me. I'm like,
Just gone right in and
Like,
just tongued a dude.
could you imagine visiting and like you didn't know what we were doing during this whole shit, and you see two people going for an elbow, and you're like, I'm not
Right.
gonna bingo wing any
Right.
like.
And while
what's
you do
happening?
it, you lean in close in the ear and be like, I don't care about COVID.
I actually think we should start doing
Should've-
that.
should
Is
do
when you
that.
see someone you haven't seen in a long time, as you go to hug, you just just right on the forehead, but you don't acknowledge it, like just
Yes.
ever so.
Just be
Just-
as natural as possible.
Yeah, just totally like, you look really good, man. How's your family doing? And then
exactly.
just back off. And they're like, and then of course, like it'd be one of them awkward things where they do it back, but they don't mean to do it back. It just feels right to do that because they did it to you. And you're just
Right.
like, oh, what did I just do?
Right.
Yeah, you're trying to be the main character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. We should start doing stuff like that.
I thought about it.
Everyone's an NPC, right?
Everyone.
Everyone's an NPC. You can do whatever you want. They're not going to remember it.
That's true.
Well, they will remember it, but you're not going to care.
Yeah, but they'll remember you in the best
You don't
way.
care that they remember it.
Yeah,
Right.
they'll remember you in the best way.
You're like, yeah, I met this dude, and he like kissed me on the
Kiss me on
forehead.
the forehead. Or like you see someone you haven't seen in a long time, they tell their friends like, hey man, I saw Josh the other day, and that dude, he like kissed me on my forehead.
Is that he's changed?
Did he do that before? And they're like, I don't know, but I mean, I'm okay with it. Nowadays, they just be like, it's just fine. He knows his truth.
Right, exactly. He's found himself. His
found-
authentic self.
And my authentic self.
He's a stranger kisser. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. It's not like I'm not like I walked up, I'm like, that's a nice dick you got there.
We know a guy that does that.
I do know a guy that does that.
Like, hey man, how's it hanging?
Damn, you got a
And
big
grabs
You
it.
got a big old dick on you.
Right.
Like, whoa.
Ooh, that's a nice dick.
Yeah, or like someone's pissing your urine, like, hey, nice watch. Like,
Right, exactly.
oh, speaking of like shit that irks me, and I hate to segue off the subject, but I have to. On my way over here, you know, our neighbor right here, it's got that big ass bulldog, the white one right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you
Chain in the yard.
if you mow your grass, blow the fucking grass back in the yard.
Oh, he blows it all over.
It's
the
all
street.
over the street.
Yeah, I know.
It's how hard is
Yeah, all
it?
you gotta do is just run back, or turn
put
it the other way.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah, I
It's
turn it
not
the other way. It makes
hard.
it easier.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even cut yours. Your dad does a good job.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He does it right. I should
Hey,
call
I
him.
pay
like,
him.
Thank you for blowing that shit up in the yard.
Right.
Guys, man, that shit irks me. I'm like, it doesn't take any more time. It's everywhere. That was my rant. Like, I like how now I care more about it now that I'm getting older. The little things like that bother me.
Yeah.
Like, I see grass shavings like that. I'm just like, that. You know, someone could be on their motorcycle and someone could fall. And I'm like,
Right.
you're like, what?
Like me.
Anybody. It just looks terrible. It makes the neighborhood look trashy.
Oh, that was like the only time I really actually ever got like spooked on a motorcycle was when we were taking that corner. There was that loose gravel, and you get the wobble.
Oh yeah, back wheel cuts loose a little bit.
Yeah, that scared me a little bit.
Was that when we went to?
It's down McAdoo Creek.
Well, no, I know that, but we ran from the police from there one day. What's the one we went to? Did you go with us to go to Mr. Gaddy's?
Yeah.
Okay, that road I hit one spot that was sketch too on that Baby Dragon.
Yeah.
On that highway.
We did do Baby Dragon, yeah.
Yep. That's a fast ass road, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That was gnarly.
It sucks getting out there because I hate going out toward Dover. That's a long straight highway. It sucks.
It does, but it's nice because it's a faster speed, but the wind just cuts through there so bad.
And it's boring after like 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, you
with
gotta have the right bike. You gotta have like a stereo and do it up.
Yeah, I don't have a
cruise
cruiser.
control. You gotta really,
Which I think I'm seriously. I think I'm gonna go look at one. I actually,
Jacob's been talking about it.
My brother was when I saw him. He was telling me he's got a friend that has a Harley. He's trying to say it's like a 2008, but he took really good care of it.
Right.
For like, he said, yeah, he'd probably give it to me for like $8,000. I'm like, yeah.
That, depending on what it is, what model and stuff. Yeah, dude.
So he
I
showed
missed
me
mine. It was
Well,
special.
it was all white. I don't know if I want an all white.
It really mans you up. I like it. Oh, all white's sick.
I don't know if I have to see it.
Yeah, you'll want it. It's cool.
So, yeah.
But we're not sponsored by Harley, by the way. If Harley wants to sponsor us, we'll do it.
We're not sponsored by anybody.
Well, yeah, we are. We sponsor ourselves.
Oh, that's right.
Like I sponsor you,
Exactly.
sponsor me.
You have to
type thing.
believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Follow your heart.
Invest in yourself.
Invest, yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking, dude! Every time I hear someone say it, it's like those motivational dudes on Instagram. And stuff.
Oh, I could go into a whole rant about those, like Gary V and all those fucks.
Well, I had to like recently unfollow a bunch of them because I don't like. I like a lot of them, but sometimes it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some of them don't know. Now that they've progressed into this whole huge like social media platform and all this stuff, I'm like, I take little snippets of it, but then I get it too, where it's like, hey, if I can outreach 2 people, if 2 people take what I say verbatim serious, then I've helped somebody. But I've had to unfollow like 10 or 15 people because it's like when you wake up, they're like, you need to get out there, you need to slay, you need to kill, and be fucking motivated.
Have the animal instinct.
Animal instinct, like be ready. And I'm like, I sit at a desk all day, bro.
Then they'll be like, if your wife is holding you back, ditch your ass, divorce. And you're just like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah,
relax.
If your kids are acting up, beat the shit
beat
out of
the
them.
shit out of them. Get to work. Hustle. And you're like,
I'm like, I'm going to work. And they're like, I get it though. And I'm sure you take it with a grain of salt, but sometimes I'm like, they'll be like, come at the day like an animal. And I'm like, I sit in a chair all day.
right.
The only thing I can come at an animal like is if I spin in the chair too fast and get dizzy. Right. Like, so, and maybe they just mean perspective, like put it in however you do, like be aggressive with your pen when you're writing those notes. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's all for me. That's why I didn't follow a lot of it because some of it's very game showy. Even if they try to do like a video where it's like in their for fun, like their private section, like where they're at home, it's like super intense still.
Right.
Like who's the big dude right now? Liver King right now is the big.
Yeah, like we talked about like the like Liver King and all those like health people that tell you the magic secret or whatever to a better you and a healthy body and all this kind of crap. All you got to do is you got to eat bean sprouts and lamb, and you're like,
well,
okay.
I think the thing I don't want to get the whole because Liver King's whole thing right now is like be a primal is his thing, right? Yeah, and I do follow because some of his shit's he's just a character. I can't help it. But sometimes he'll be like, you got to eat this, and then do this, and he's like, fuck greens and vegetables, eat this, and I'm like, dude, and everybody's been trying to get him to do like a blood test,
right?
Because he's on that shit. He's on that shit.
Also that, yeah.
Because one of the doctors was like, dude, there's no way you're that like cut all year round and that fucking jacked,
right?
Like, not only that, you can't eat 14 hamburger patties, 3 pounds of bacon, and then eat like the liver off of some cow or whatever raw, and then like you make your kids like chop wood and shit so they can have breakfast. I'm like, dude, like, and then you have like
he's got that video where it's like he's sitting outside in the big dinner table, and he's got all his kids, and they all have just like plates, and it's just piles of meat, raw meat on a plate,
and they're like crying on the inside.
Yeah, they're like, I hate you, Dad.
I hate you, Dad. Can't you just fucking cook this?
You liver bitch.
He beats them, drowns them, makes them fight for their life.
Right. Exactly.
When they go fishing, they don't even use a fishing pole.
Puts them in the chokey.
Yeah. Like when they go fishing, there's no fishing poles.
Right.
They just tosses them out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And here, hunt fish. Primal. Kill your own fish.
Yes, exactly right. Don't know how to swim? Tough luck.
Oh, speaking of that shit too, we're just gonna go for a wild, silly ride tonight. That's how I feel right now. Because you're about to go to Alaska. Next week's going to be a weird show because you're not going to be here.
Okay.
We're just going to go into some silly stuff.
Yeah, silly bitch time.
Silly bitch time. So I saw something today where, and I always reference Instagram a lot because I'm on it a lot, obviously. And by the way, follow us on Instagram as well. So I got on there and somebody was like posting like a little like, and she's female. I'm not going to say any names. Posted like this thing and it was like not really necessarily know your truth, but like work on yourself.
Right.
Like don't
Self-care.
chase certain dreams. Like be yourself, take care of yourself. Like, me.
Right.
And then it's like something always gets referenced to like finding someone. I love these. And then someone commented and was like, don't worry, you'll find him when you're not looking for him. I was like, no, you fucking won't.
Right.
I've said this so many times, and I'm sorry. You won't.
Right.
You will not. You cannot sit at home and think about ordering pizza and you never order it and it's just going to show up at the front door one day. Sorry, you've been. It's like Publishers Clearinghouse. Like you don't sign up, you're not going to get a fucking check.
Right.
Stop doing that.
Or I like the ones where you see they're like sitting in their car and the caption is like self-care Saturday and then they're just like drinking Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm like, I did that yesterday, just not Starbucks. I'm like, I guess
like,
self-care is
okay.
every day. Like,
guess
you're not allowed to have that coffee except for that day.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Dude.
It's like, oh, this is the same order you've already had like 3 times already today.
Or like when they show a picture of them like sitting reading a book and they're like, oh, it's a quiet day. I'm like, that's what you're going to do on your this is what you've been waiting to do.
It feels
you're
so
single.
staged. It feels so
It's
staged.
so fucking staged. Give me a break.
They're actually like have you seen those
influencers
that they'll especially like it's usually it's most time it's women, sometimes it's dudes, but it's they really high profile, up and coming influencers or whatever. They're clout chasers or whatever, and they'll take pictures about like going to the Maldives, and they'll take a picture of that on a private jet, and then you actually like find out that is actually a set in a studio.
Yeah, bro.
That looks like a private jet, and so they just go in there. Influencers will go in there; they'll pay to go in there and take pictures in this mock setup of a private jet, and then they can make the caption whatever they want.
Well, speaking of like,
like
videos and like I was on there last night, on like a YouTube tear, and I was sitting there. I'm like, I was looking through, and it's like they tile it like suggestions, and it's like it's a couple like fitness pages, whatever, and it was like, I follow what's her name, was it Hannah, the girl who does the noodling, Hannah Barrows or something like that, the cute girl who does all the noodling.
Oh yeah, with the catfish.
She's a cool chick. Yeah. So I follow her and some other stuff. Well, these one popped, and I was like looking, and it's like 2.6 million views, 3 million views, 1.4 million views. And it's literally the most mundane task. But because the female
she has tits.
is attractive and she has yoga pants on, like they were outside using a table saw. She's in yoga pants. And literally a lot of them, the quality's not great. The sound's not. They don't really say anything very interesting.
Just have to be hot.
It's because they look good. I'm like, and I'm not knocking it. You have figured out the system. That is insane to me. 2 million views.
Exactly.
And then one was a girl laying in the grass, and it said, let's do a yoga warm-up. It's like 4 minutes. 3 million views in 4 minutes for a 4-minute video.
Yeah, the internet, the advent of the internet has made it where, and we've said this before, is like the easiest life on the planet.
It's got to be, and I wish we could have one on the show.
Is a hot woman.
I want to get someone on the show that is like a big time, because I'd just like to just pick their brain. Like, how did you get started? Like, what's your day-to-day look like? Like, what is the day-to-day? Like, I know streamers who do video games on Twitch, like, play 8 to 10 hours of video games a day. Mm-hmm. You have to. It's part of the craft. Right. But I'd like to ask one, like a TikToker or somebody, like, what do you do?
I've put in some sessions where I've played that long, but not every day.
It's got to be for them, dude, every day. Every day, because you got to figure when you get an audience that big, people expect you to play. Like, it's...
The longest I ever did, I think we did a day 1 raid.
It was like 12 hours, and you on 13?
No, it was longer than that. Well, there was one that was 12 hours. The longest, I think, was like 18 hours.
Don't brag about that. It's fucking nuts.
No, it was dumb. I don't know why I do it.
Because it's fun?
Yeah, because it is fun.
You're a kid?
Because it's all brand new. You're all like sleep deprived and hopped up on caffeine.
But well, I mean, it's if you're not a video game person either, you won't get it. So.
But it's yeah, I can't imagine doing that because I tried to do the streaming thing too, and it's just I don't know. It's just I can't play that much, and I feel like playing is like enjoying. It's like a enjoyment.
Yeah, it's almost I don't want it to be a job.
And now it's like a chore. I'm just not into it.
It's like this whole us doing this podcast too. I was thinking about starting to do video clips because when you're online, you go immediately to reels. Like you want to watch videos. So I've actually been trying to like break the barrier of being on video where I do like, hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Like me recording myself on the phone. And like every time I'll get ready to do it, I like bitch out. I like chicken out. Like I'll get ready to do it and I'm like, you look stupid in this lighting, or this looks dumb.
Right.
Your hair looks weird. The hair you don't have looks weird.
Right.
You got like a rogue eyebrow hair. Like, I don't know. It weirds me out. I haven't broken the barrier yet to do it. I need to.
I feel you on that one too.
I think once I do the first one, it'll be fine. And you always make fun of people that are doing it out like in the wild.
Well, see, my thing is I'm like those actors that don't watch their own work. Right?
Yeah, of course.
I would be like that. So I don't even really listen to the pod after we record. Sometimes I'd have to because I'm trying to get clips or whatever. But otherwise, I don't like listen to it because I don't like the sound of my own voice. It'd be the same for video. Like when we did that for work, I had to do the that Facebook Live where I was on there and doing questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Couldn't watch. I have no idea what I look like.
Well, of course you can't see it because the video is so grainy.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Like
they had the video up.
Oh,
where
okay,
I could see
yeah, I
myself.
got you.
I just would not look at it because I didn't want to know. So that's what you have to do. I guess I don't know. Have somebody else look at it and be like, "This is what you need to do," and can critique you without you having to look at it because you'll just over critique yourself to where you'll like bitch yourself out and you won't do it, right? Or you'll like constantly be self conscious about it all the time. So you just have Kylie look at it, like record yourself like how you naturally would, and just have Kylie look.
I may start doing it for our clips. Like I may do like our own little intros for episodes. Be like, hey, that way people can put a face.
Well, we will be doing video. Oh
yeah, eventually. Yeah.
We do have I do have a camera now. I'm taking it with me to Alaska. First. But when we get back, then we're going to look into doing the video situation, and you'll get to see our dumb faces on camera.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I mean, all the ones I'll listen to are. I actually would like to go on a podcast here really soon. I know we've mentioned that before. I'd really like to go on one.
You're the PR guy. You got to get out there.
I know. I sent some messages.
Book us some shit.
I sent some messages yesterday to some shows to see if they'd have us on. I haven't heard anything yet.
Do we have enough episodes and followers to like have an agent? Do we need an agent?
It's all about money. You ain't got to have shit. It's all about the cash, buddy. It's all about the cash flow. It's no, I don't need an agent, but like you can. All you can do is ask. I've been asking them like, hey, do you want to do like a pair up or like do a soft intro for or something? So I don't know. Probably gotta have like a bigger. Because this is episode 14, right? Yeah. So I think once we get to 15, we'll be in it.
14. That's my lucky number.
Is it? Mm-hmm. It's Kevin Wyndham's old number too. Mm-hmm. So shout out Kev. So yeah, I would love to do that. We need to go on a show ASAP. I want to do that really bad.
You didn't you have like one kind of maybe set up to where we could, but just we got to wait till it comes back on.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, there's a particular one that I'm gonna try to. It'd be in the fall time whenever he's freed up. So hopefully we can get on that one.
That'd be dope.
Do some free publicity for us and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yep.
And then I've realized too when we were talking about this Gen Z and stuff, I was like, because I saw them too at the gym. Because they're all at the gym right now. I know I referenced that last episode, but the Gen Z pop group or whatever is at the gym because it's the high school
or the mall. Because I saw
the mall. Right. So, which they're super awkward. I actually got to witness. I told you this today. I got to witness one of them like. Male and female communicating in front of me at the gym. So I muted my headphones because I'm a creeper, and I just listened to this conversation. So like I was like, I got to hear this because they both look, they're both attractive kids, whatever. So they're 18 by the way, older. They both.
Speaking of creeper, I should tell my creep story from earlier.
We'll get to that because that's really good.
I'm a crazy
This
person.
will segue into that. Let me line you up. So they walked up and I'm like, okay, I got to hear this. So I mute. I'm like, I take them a little between my sets, and I look over and he's like, hey, like I could tell they knew each other somehow. And I'm going to give them the voices that I heard. It's not what they really sound like. This is what I heard. He was like, hey, like, good to see you. How are you? Good. Like, how are you? And he's like, no, I'm just fine. Just working out. I'm like, obviously, you were at the fucking gym. Mm-mm. And then it just got real quiet. And they were like, yeah, it's all right. So how are you doing? And then she said, good. Like, how are you? And then he just stood there. And I'm like, what? And then it was like, yeah. So, yeah, I'm lifeguarding. So it's paying better than the other place I was at. And she's like, great. Well, and it got quiet. It's good to see you. Hey, you too. Like, how are you? And I was just like, what the fuck? It's happening. How are you? Good. How are you? Great. Nice to see you. Have a great summer. It was, and you could tell like he was fidgeting, like really awkwardly. I'm like, y'all know how to talk to a girl?
No.
And like, she's like kind of nervous. He's all nervous. He's like doing the whole Bieber hair swish over. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Whoosh. Dude, this lasted like 10 minutes. I was finally like, this is unbelievable, man.
Oh, yeah, it's only going to get worse. Because of the COVID generation,
so
it's only going to get
awkward.
worse.
Like, dude.
It's only going to get worse.
And they may have just been really in love. I don't know. They could have been in love.
Maybe.
I was
Maybe
witnessing
like,
a Nicholas Sparks film in person.
Right, and they were just so nervous.
So nervous. I was going to be like, psst.
Right.
Grab her. But I want to be like, this is an old dude on the machine right there.
Right. Why does this dude tell me to grab her?
Grab it. I could have used one of my slang terms. I could have Googled some.
Yeah.
She looks like a snack, don't she? He's like, what? I'm like, I don't know.
That shit is bussin'.
Shit is bussin'. No cap.
You got the drip, son.
You got the drip, son. Let me see them little shorts. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
She wants to be the main character in your life.
We're turning into that meme of what is it? What is that dude? Where he walks up and he's got the skateboard on his back and he's like old as shit. And he's like, "What's up, fellow kids?" Like that's what we're turning into.
Yeah, and like I think it's just being in your 30s. Like I'm new in the 30s. Well, I'm 2 years seasoned in the 30s now, but like I don't know. Being around that does make me feel old. Like I'm not saying I'm old. I'm not saying the 30s is not old, but it segues into some different things. And I don't realize my age until I'm around someone that much younger than me. I'm just like, dude, I got 15.
Like I know you're only as young as you feel, as they say or whatever, and it's just a number. I get that. It's just a number until you're under the age of consent. Then the number matters.
Don't do that. That's 5 to 10.
Exactly right. How old is 15? Really?
You start looking for tattoos. Oh, I want to pee on you.
Oh my god! It's Dave Chappelle joke.
Dave Chappelle joke. We're not peeing on
anybody. Stay out of our DMs.
Golden showers.
Get out of there.
Stop.
Right. But he fuck, you made me lose my train of thought talking about peeing on people. Fuck.
People are into that, man.
But here's what I was saying is that age is just a number. You're only as young as you feel. Blah blah blah. All that kind of crap. But I feel like your perspective changes whenever you hit in your 30s.
Yeah,
because you've already gone through the whole 20s thing, and things pop up in your head. Like, first of all, you're there. For me, I don't know for you because you take care of yourself, but much better than I do. But you notice physical things start happening.
Yeah.
Right? I do think on the set the physical stuff aside for just a second, but I think you have a different perspective when you get around the 30s because you're like, okay, I've done the partying thing and staying all night. It's boring. I want to do some other stuff now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some stuff that used to be important to you and is no longer important. Like even like we talking about video games, I've started to notice I just don't have the enthusiasm as much anymore to play like I was when I was in my 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say for me anyway. I will say this though, for me, like I do feel if you're talking about like physical changes, but like I will say as far as like I feel it's gonna sound tacky and weird. I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna be done with it. Like I do feel physically stronger in my 30s than in my 20s.
You got that dad strength.
Well, it's not so much like I could like I'm not like a gorilla where I could like like it's gotten shorter. It does that when you get there. It shrinks up.
The opposite of dad dick.
Well, if you don't use it, you lose it type thing. Like so, it's it almost looks like chapstick when you can reel it back in or deodorant. It's like shit.
Right.
So, but so I do feel better that way. But you do like the perspective is a big thing. You start noticing things that you don't try not to care about as much anymore. And then you do notice like I know like even getting dressed sometimes I'm like you probably shouldn't wear that graphic tee. Like it just makes me feel
graphic
old.
tees. Yes.
And I don't get me wrong. Like I'm wearing one right now. But it's very select. Like
but it's not. That's more of like a.
It's either like I've said this before. I wear a Black Rifle tee, Daisy May. I have certain T-shirts, but then the solid tees are big too. But then I've grown like, I've gotten back into my polo game, like where I feel my age when I'm in a polo. I don't know why.
I say I like polos. I'm actually having really hard deja vu. I'm pretty sure we've talked about specifically graphic tees in another episode.
We did, I think so. I'll segue out of that. But now I will say this though, because I'm pretty much an open book on things, but I will say for 30s, I will say sexually, I'm not going to get like performance or anything. Like I'm a lot pickier as far as like where it happens now. Because like okay, so
like room, not like on you.
No.
Where?
No. Okay. Not like it's not like placement on me. Like sit on my knee.
I like it in my butt now.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, I'm into this now. Like, but like there's that stigma around like when you're in your 20s or earlier, you're like, we'll do it anywhere. Like we met, I've met people that are couples like they're crazy. They used to do it on their car out in the parking lot and all this. And I'm just like, when you're young, you're like, yeah, dude, that's fucking gnarly. That sounds cool, dude. Like, you can believe like he did his girlfriend back in that concert, dude. Like,
it sounds like I'm gonna pull my back.
Yeah. So now I hear it, I'm like, this is like, dude, I have worked all like for one, if you're out in the park, no, I don't want to anybody seeing me.
No.
And I truthfully like to be showered up.
And also, like, I worked hard to have a house and a
worked
nice
hard
bed.
for my home. I want my bed.
I'm not doing it in the car.
Yeah, and like I need, like no.
No.
And like and then now they're like, can you believe they did it like 3 or 4 times? I'm like, no, actually I can't. Like I'm like a one-stop shop, 2 maybe.
I guess if
I got to recharge.
If the mood strikes and you just can't help it, and you're like a few miles, you're too far away from the house, go at it.
I'm not I don't like turn the lights off, make sure I shower, brush my teeth, wait 10 seconds. I'm nothing weird about it. I don't put on a certain musical note. It's just like it's funny to me that people
and you're in the butt play now, so it's like,
people
get Big Henry.
People do that. I'm not actually into ass play. I don't know what you just said that. You segued that in. I'm like, people are gonna be like,
I tried to sneak it in.
You did really sneak
like Big Henry does.
Like Big Henry does. Thanks. Yeah, so it is funny how that whole thing has changed a lot too, where it's like, because before when, like I said, when you're young, you're like, dude, yeah, man, it was anywhere. Like I'm just like, no, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Well, I can't relate to some of that because I'm not married, but.
Well, you don't have to be married to have sex.
Well, I know, but yeah, okay. But I mean, I'm also not having a lot of that either.
You're just doing your part. It's not a big deal.
Right, exactly. I'm holding it down for all the incels.
You're a what is it? What do they call that? Born again? Is that what they call that shit?
No, incels, involuntarily celibate. That's
okay.
That's the term now. Is where they involuntary. So I didn't sign up for this shit.
You're doing like those women do, a sex strike.
Yes,
I saw that article.
But it's been forced upon me.
Right. Your body, your choice to do a sex strike.
It was their body, no choice for me.
They're just being stingy. That's right. What that is.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, God damn it.
It makes you wonder like that too, why sex workers and stuff get bashed when like Uber Eats, when it was like Uber Sex. Or you could just like call
Uber sex.
You could just order like sex, like just one night.
What was that on the? That reminds me of.
I'm really going off on a tear there.
Euro Trip. That's what it sounds like. He went to that shop. It was called Uber Sex.
Uber Sex. Yeah. Reminds me of that. It reminds me of Ramstein. Is that how you say it?
Right. Ramstein.
Du hast me. Whatever. I don't even know what that means.
Du hast mich.
Yeah. Shout out to German culture.
Yay, Germans.
Yay, Germans. No.
Germany sucks.
Yeah, I've never been.
Me neither, but I heard it sucks. Like everything shitty comes out of Germany.
Sorry, everybody's listening. We don't have any listeners in Germany.
Well, so let's bash them
away. If we get some, sorry, but it sucks.
Now we're not going to get any listeners.
Now we're not going to get. They're like, I'm hanging up, or however they talk. I don't know.
Nine.
I hang up. I don't know how I got on a tear about sexual in the 30s.
Well, all right. So other things that happen in your 30s, and this is we're imparting our knowledge upon the Gen Z because you guys talk like retards. So this is what you're gonna be looking forward to after you've had your fun, right? And then you're gonna get in your 30s, and then you got to be a little more serious, and you can't party like you used to, right? So there's some things you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about today that happened to me recently was that having to like get up in the middle of the night to shit.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if that's just me or if it happens.
I don't do it very often. If I have like a stomach bug or something, obviously, but there's no worse feeling like getting up to have to pee like early. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously I try not to drink anything for 2 hours before bed.
Correct.
Kind of like settle out. But yeah, like for some reason I feel trashy if I have to get up like at 1 or 2 in the morning and take a shit because it's not going to be pleasant at that hour.
Well, imagine if
it's unpleasant enough that it has woken you up.
You're right.
So it's like there's a war.
And I feel like if I filmed myself while I was sleeping while this was happening, I imagine that I'm probably like rolling around like all like I can't. And you're just uncomfortable, and then you finally wake up and you're like. You got sleep eyes and everything. You're like, oh, why am I up? I'm like, oh,
I look like that girl from the Sprite challenge. She's like, oh, my tummy hurts, and the girl's like, oh, and then she like, that's my intestines.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, dude. And then you feel trashy.
So of course, you got sleep eyes, and you got to stumble your way to the bathroom, and then you have to, and this is something you have to consciously check that you've got the seat down. Because when you're in that sleep haze, you may actually like fall in, right?
Oh no! And then turn the light on. You have to Popeye it.
Yeah,
so you can only open one eye for some reason that worked. It's functional,
and the other one's like barely open. You're just like looking through your eyelashes, and you're just like,
you feel like a camel in a sandstorm.
You're like a newborn baby. You're like, you're right with those like hospital lights. You're like, right, that's what you're like.
You actually would need some assistance,
right?
Very better,
exactly. And so you finally, you sit down, and like I don't wear like a shirt or whatever. I'm usually shirtless. I'm sleeping. So when I drop trowel, I'm just basically butt naked, and I just have to like underwear on my ankles, right? So it also looks even more awkward and weird. So I'm sitting there like the statue of David on the throne, right? I'm all naked.
Yeah.
Right, I do that pose where I put my fist up under my chin,
on your hip,
right, and on one of my
Well,
hip,
it makes
like
it
this.
easier for it to come out,
right? Exactly. This is actually like releases the sphincter for it to come out.
Yeah.
Right? This pose right here.
and then you have to tippy toe.
Right, exactly. Right, that helps. Right, exactly.
Then your calves burn.
Right, right, exactly. And then, of course, now your body's up, and so your like heart starts racing even faster because like, wake up, bitch!
You're getting cold sweats.
Exactly. You're like cold on the inside but hot on the outside. Right, that whole thing.
Did someone microwave me?
Because now you're also exerting energy because you're pushing this demon out. Right,
Yeah.
and so that's not something you want to do. It's like if you got rolled right out of rolled right out of bed and started doing push-ups, like except your ass, right? So it's that's what it feels like.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you're
okay.
sweating, but you shouldn't be.
You're getting a chest pump.
Right,
Like a
exactly.
shitter.
Right.
I get
so
it.
you're sitting there and you just and what's really bad is if it's like hot snakes, and so it like just burns your ass.
It's like sitting on a lit match.
Right, exactly. And so you finally, or what's worse, I said it earlier, is you have the organ shifter, where it's just a bunch, and as it comes out, you feel like your like
It's
organs
a
realign
concerned
back.
amount. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And sometimes
It's a
you're like,
concerned
should I
amount.
call someone?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you either have the organ shifter, which is fine because that's the most relieving one that you can have. Hot snake sucks.
Speaking of hot snakes, shifting to wet wipes is a big deal.
Yeah, that helps.
Tremendously.
That helps big time. So if you even with the baby wipes, wet wipes or whatever, you get hot snakes, and then of course you gotta go back to bed, and so you finally clean your shit up. You do your business, and now you're almost fully awake. So now you gotta try to go back to sleep because it's 2:30 in the morning, right? So you're laying there, you just blew out your asshole. Trying to go back to sleep. It's all dark. It's quiet. You're trying not to move so that you can go back to sleep, and all you can feel is your burning, pulsating asshole.
Yeah. And then they don't make cooling wipes.
No, they don't. Exactly.
I've tried to.
Maybe we need like a fan or something that's under there that
you
cools
can
it down.
You could probably do.
Feels like you like wiped with icy hot.
Yeah. I've done it before too, where before I knew about wet wipes, you take you get like toilet paper in the sink and wet it to try to help soothe it, but then it just
I've tried it, but then it just turns into mush.
Well, it turns into like hard Play-Doh.
Yeah,
where
right.
it's like it's terrible.
Exactly, that's not a good way to do it.
And then you can't do it at work.
Have you ever had to do the where you run out of toilet paper? I had to do this in public, where you gotta. So if you run out of toilet paper, what's your go-to? What's your move?
If I'm out of toilet paper,
Out of toilet paper entirely, and you're in public, and there's no way that
in public
in a public setting. Now, if I'm at home, I'll do the duck waddle over to the pantry or the pantry. The cat.
I keep my toilet paper.
I keep
in the
it
pantry.
next to the
It's
pasta.
next to right. Well, peanut butter
Exactly.
and then
peanut butter, toilet paper,
paper.
pasta.
Yep. That's just smart.
I just go over to the closet and I'll grab some more because that's where I keep it. Right. So I just did a little duck waddle thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you don't want to close up because you'll make a mess.
Exactly. So you got to have open cheek.
So
duck waddle. But if I'm in public, I've
I've
done
never
it
had it
before.
happen in public. So what I would my go-to if you put me on the spot, I'd probably try to find one of those if they have the covers for the seat.
Okay.
I'd probably grab a couple of those and just
Yeah,
try to
that'll work.
bear down enough to get to the next stall.
Right.
Wipe enough to get to like a whore
So
bath.
you would have to pull up trowel and
I'd
then,
have to.
Yeah,
But I'd have to clean up enough.
I just imagine you like duck waddling out.
Make sure. If I'd go like this, I'd be like,
Woohoo!
if
Anybody
someone
here?
responds
Hey!
back, I'll be like, not yet.
Not yet.
And then
Wait.
it dries up and I'd be safe.
Right.
To go to the next
Hello?
stall. Yeah, hello. Hi. Yeah, so, but I have, and you can, if it's happened this before, I've actually had it to where I've had to do like an emergency stop where I almost shit on myself. Mm-hmm. And what I do is, this has happened before where you know it's going to be a disaster. Like, going into what to expect. Like, it's,
Right.
You can tell by the rumble, the way it feels, if it's
bubble
going to be
guts.
a mess. Like, it's not going to be good. So I always pre-flush the toilet when I go into the stall. Because what's happened before is I've gone in and dropped and been like, oh, I think I'm done. And I've went to hit the flusher and it's clogged. But you don't know it's clogged.
Until then.
And then at that point, there is no plunger. So
No.
you've literally got a soup du jour of
Right.
disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to do
I do a test flush.
A pre-flush check. Make sure the engine is working. And you do that. But so if I've had this situation where I've run out and there is no materials around me for which to wipe my ass. No seat covers.
So what do you do?
So what you have to do is you have to go medieval. You have to go old school style on it.
I don't know what
so
that
this is
means.
what you got to do.
Corn cob?
You got to flush. Yeah, because I have a corn cob in my pocket at all times, just for this scenario. Right? Exactly.
An old sponge.
I just get in there and just back and forth down my crack with a fucking with a corn
You almost
cob.
said porcupine.
No, so this is the move, and this is the advice that you have. You have to go medieval on it, or
Write
I
this-
guess
write this down, guys.
I think a lot of Middle Eastern countries still do this in some cultures over there.
I'm
They
getting
do this.
nervous.
So this is what they do. So because I've heard that they use their hand,
Their left hand.
their left hand. That's the reason you can't. You've heard that where that you're not supposed to wave with your left hand or right hand or whatever it is because that's what
Because
they
it's got
use
some
their
shit on it.
Yeah, because I guess so you have to do that. So I've had to do that. What you do is you flush. So now you got a fresh bowl of water, and you just got to pat away. That's the only option.
No,
Unless I got to pull my fucking socks off or use my shirt and walk out shirtless.
So you self
I
bidet.
straight self bidet.
I self-bidet.
I've had to do that before.
Bro.
I've had to
that's
self bidet.
nasty.
It's gross. It is fucking gross. But it's the only way to do
But
it.
then you got shitty water on your hand.
I got shitty water on my
So
hand.
what do you do to clean your hand to pull your underwear back up? And
Well,
pants?
you have to do. Sometimes you got to do multiple flushes. Depends on the
you're
the mess that
so
you've created for
so
yourself.
you're basically bird bathing it
Yeah, I'm
with your hand.
my ass is a bird, and I'm patting my ass.
I'm shaking my tail feather.
Right.
So, but like my thing is, I'm next to you. I think you're playing in the bowl like
Yes.
a cat,
If there
but
was-
your feet are still on the ground.
Yes.
So I'm like, dude is playing in the shit bowl.
If somebody else was in there and they heard it,
They're like, "Do you want some toilet paper?" Like, no, I'm
they're
good.
like, bro, you got like some pool toys in there? What's going on?
Like, you just be like, I get really nervous. I'm a nervous shitter, so I play in my water.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
self bidet.
Right. So you got a self bidet until you've
That
got
shit
it all
is
done,
embarrassing.
and then now you have like a kind of a wet kind of swampy ass, which kind of sucks.
To me, it sounds like you've made a worse situation.
Well, it's better than having a shit ass.
I don't know. To get to the next stall, I don't know.
No, not to get to the next stall. I'm saying there's been this is not the next stall because if it was
You
the
didn't
next
grab some paper towels?
because I've done that before where I've done it exactly like you said is that you get it just enough to move to the next place.
You get your
right?
asshole for moving.
Then you move to the next place, and I've done that before. But I'm talking about this is single stall. There's no other place to go to,
Yeah,
right? It's a
okay.
single room, right? And so if you walk into those, unisex ones or whatever, it's just one room. There's no paper towels. There's no toilet paper. I've never done done this because this was a bridge too far. But I've never used the hand blowers to like dry my ass. I've never done that.
No, but I will tell you though.
But so you do. So that does kind of suck. And of course you can wash your hands afterwards or whatever. But I've had to do that move.
dude, it's like when you take a shit so big your back pops.
Oh yeah,
Like where you can feel like your back. You have to straighten up.
yeah. That's the organ shifter, as I call it.
Those are good. And now what's successful, like the biggest success out of the bathroom you get is where you shit and you wipe and there's nothing there. For some reason, that's better than anything starting the day. You just feel success immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're just like, there's nothing there. And then you do a second wipe to make sure you weren't like,
What's
you
that called?
forgot.
The morning
It's-
constitution?
Well, it's called a, yeah. And there's the ghost wipers, the one where you wipe and there's nothing there. You're like, this is incredible.
I've had those. The only time I've had those was in basic, where I could seriously like one wipe, no look, toss it behind me as I get up and walk off,
That's incredible.
and be totally confident that I have no shit ass.
Yeah. You can't be doing all that now because you'd be itching.
Yeah, no, there's no. Yeah, well, I was on a rigid structure, and so
You were on a dog food diet.
I was on a dog food diet. Right?
Speaking of blow drying your hands, I like to use the blow dryer after I get out of the shower on all my cracks and crevices.
On your bits.
Yep. And because there's just places the towel won't get. So you just do a quick air dry, man.
I think I can get in there.
Nope.
I'd
try
get
it.
in there.
Nope. You're not fully dry. I would put my paycheck on it. Try a hair dryer. Change your life.
Well,
now I would go out and buy a hair dryer because I don't have any hair, but like I blow dry my beard and stuff when I out of the shower, like just to get like the initial, and then I just do a tour of the body and I
I
go
don't even
through
know if
and
I have a blow dryer.
get some crevices and stuff, dude. Get up in there and just blow dry it out.
I don't know if I even have one.
I got the idea because when I used to go to Clarksville Athletic Club, those old dudes in the gym, in the locker room, like don't care if their sacks out and shit. They don't care. Like they'll be like, "How was the
they air
game
dry?
last night?" Like one of them had their leg up, like on the bench, and you can't see what I'm doing, people, but like he had it up, like where it looks like his tonsils are hanging out.
Right.
And then you look over, and he's like you guys catch that game last night?
Dick tonsils.
And it's blowing in the wind. Like his shit's blowing with the hairdryer.
So it's like moving?
Yeah, he's confidently blowing his...
Like a windsock in a 5-mile-an-hour wind?
Yeah, dude, it looks like... I'm serious. I'm not making that up. He was really blowing... So, of course, I'm like, oh, my God, dude. Well, then I'm thinking to myself, like, well, there's got to be a reason he's doing that. Because he's, older. There's got to be some wisdom in there somewhere.
It looked like a beanbag on a
It looked like melted gum. like dirty gum. Well, there's like some rogue hairs and shit. It looks like an ugly dead bird. Like, one of the birds that falls out of the nest. It's like pink and like its eyes are still purple.
Right.
Where it's like, me.
Like a turkey's gizzard.
Right. Actually, that's exactly what it looked like. I didn't stick around. It sounds like I was there for a lot longer than I was. I wasn't.
You really sampled this thing.
Well, I was like, hey, man, you got a Snapchat?
Right. You're like.
Save that for
Make
later.
some mental
Well,
pictures.
that's what I do as my art outlet. I draw old balls.
Old balls.
I call my art all balls.
All balls.
And then it's just
all
pictures of balls. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, try
Very
that.
progressive.
Try the hairdryer. It's cool, dude. That's the best way to go about
I
it.
try that. I don't feel like I need. I'm usually always.
What do
in
they
a
call
rush.
it? What do they call it? A life hack? It's a life hack. It's a life hack.
I'm usually in a rush. I'm not gonna bust out the hairdryer just for my nutsack.
Well, I usually shower the night before. Do you do 2 showers?
Well, if I'm working out again, I have to take one at night. Otherwise, I'm gross. Otherwise,
Of course. I shower at night, and then the morning I do wash my face, like my whole ritual thing. But I don't shower again in the morning. I don't do 2 showers.
No, if I
I'm out wrestling in my sleep. If I have like a nightmare, if I was sweating, I'll shower.
Right.
Or if my wife pounces on me.
Well, I have like bedhead. You don't have that.
I don't have
problem.
any hair.
See, I'll have bedhead, so I at least have to jump in. I at least have to either just wash my head like in the sink or something like that, or I have to just jump in, get wet, and get out.
Oh yeah, if I'm gonna bend over the sink and wash my hair, I'm just gonna get in the shower like that.
Right. Otherwise, it's
you should wear like a do rag or something at night,
like
a shower cap.
I could.
You could do something like that.
I don't think that'll solve the bedhead problem. But
well, no, but it might make it look cool.
Maybe.
Or I don't know.
Some
try
waves.
it. Get some waves in there, dude.
Do-rag.
Yeah, man.
Right.
That might be something you're missing. I might try that in my
That's
beard.
the ticket.
I might try it in my beard. Do a cap for
Wear
my beard.
a do rag on your face.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even. Would that even work?
We're gonna make it work. People do a lot of weirder shit.
You have the you did do this at one point where you were working on it, but I feel like you've got a good like Viking beard situation going on where you could like beat it.
Yeah, so I did. So I had the long beard when I worked outside, and then whenever Vikings came out, everybody was doing like the Ragnar,
Right.
where it was like kind of what I got now, where it's pointed at the chin and then it's like faded on the sides. But yeah, I tried it for a while, and I was like, I'm gonna put beads in, and kind of was like, no, you're not doing that because I'm not Scandinavian.
You would look like techno Viking.
Yeah, I would look like a freak. Like,
Yeah.
and then you can't. No one can take you seriously. Come in an office setting in a collared shirt and you have fucking beads in your beard.
Right.
You're like, okay, really?
Right.
Where's your axe?
Right.
Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Attention villagers.
Attention villagers, hear me, come forth. Like, no, that's not me. Like, I'll be like an outcast.
Yeah.
I did see a dude lately. I saw a couple weeks ago where he had rubber bands in it, and I got to say, it's worse. It looks shitty.
Rubber bands. Yeah, I feel you got to do beads.
Yeah. So, well, it was a guy at the grocery store
Made out
like,
of tusk.
Or like that dude we saw today with that purple mohawk thingy at Miss Lucille's.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was weird. He had like a.
It was Bussin.
Well, he had like it was like a mohawk, but it was like a mohawk of ponytails.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Because he had a little ponytail up front, right up front. I don't know what you call
Well, he
it,
had a shirt on
little
that
bun thing.
said
And
no.
he had no one for the. It was like it was the Ray from Star Wars. Is what he
That's
had.
right.
He had
Yeah,
the Ray,
just
but it
not
was
hot.
Purple.
Just
And he
not
was
hot.
The dude, right?
Yeah.
Had a wiener.
We had a shirt on that said like nobody loves me. It
Right.
was really, I don't know what this whole thing
Yeah,
was.
exactly. I hate my dad.
I hate my dad. Oh, loves me. So I didn't get his name.
It's probably Pete. I don't know.
He looked like a Steve.
Yeah.
No, not a Steve.
No.
I don't know what he looked like.
No.
He's a weird looking cat.
His name is probably like Leslie.
I don't know what the deal is with the colored hair thing lately too. That's so popular.
Don't know.
Like you remember back in the day, it was cool. Like when girls would get like a pink streak, like they were like blonde, or they get like a blue streak. And you're like, oh my gosh, she's so bold, or she's probably really slutty.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like that was a thing.
Right. She's like turned over a new leaf. Now she's a bad bitch because she got a streak in her hair.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on the bad bitch thing. That whole movement where women are like, she's a bad bitch.
Or-
I'm like, why is she? Why?
Or
Because she
you-
drives a truck.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
ooh. Oh, like I've seen the things at the grocery store. And it's
Because
like
she sells real
where it's
estate?
like girls drive trucks too. I'm like, great.
Exactly.
We know that they can.
You see that and it's like, boss bitch, and she just like sells real estate.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Or like you've had a bad breakup
Or
and now
she's a
you're a bad
photographer.
bitch. I'm like, what did you do?
Right.
like or slaying.
What were you saying the other day was like, you couldn't handle me. You couldn't handle all this.
My
It's
gosh,
like,
dude.
I couldn't handle you just
Or they're
laying
like,
there.
or they're like, I'm that crazy girl your mom warned you about. I'm like, what? Because you skipped class once in college?
What are you, a Wiccan? What does
Like,
that mean?
Yeah, do you turn into a demon at night? I don't understand. Like, what is like? I've only met a few women in my life that were fucking crazy. That I'm like, they were either a crazy whore or they just did some wild shit. That's it. And there's never one that like went wild. Like she got dumped twice. Now she's a bad bitch.
Right, and also the fact that you're crazy and people just like leave is not them not being able to handle you. It's because you're a crazy bitch that drives people off. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because no one wants to be around you.
It's like when somebody says money doesn't buy happiness. That's just something poor people say.
Right, exactly.
It's the same, and it's what that is.
Right. Beauty is only on the inside.
It's something ugly people say.
Ugly people say.
Yeah, come on, man.
Right. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Exactly. It's like people that drink unsweet tea. It's the same thing.
Shut up. I love unsweet tea.
It's dirty water.
Dirty cock of water.
But yeah, like don't get me wrong, I do like that. You know, the girls were like, you know,
and this is raspberry, by the way.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's Pure Leaf. Shout out Pure Leaf. Like I do like girls that are like, you know, sassy and crazy and big hair. I like all that shit.
And we'll
like I married a sassy lady.
Back at
yeah,
you.
like
right, I like that.
If that makes you a bad bitch, that's cool. I'm dig that. But like, you know, it's the whole truck thing, like where it says like a girl drives this truck. I'm like, yeah, the pink license plate kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
Or I see him jump up in the truck. I'm like, you can have all that. I don't care.
Right.
I think it's cool. But I don't think it's a bragging point that you bought a truck.
No.
If that's the case, come help me move some furniture next time since you're such a bad bitch.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so. Take all the groceries in on one trip and then we'll talk.
Yeah, like carry more than those 2 bags you had.
Right, exactly. Gosh. Somebody was telling me about that. They were talking about like I think it was shout out Stephanie. She was telling me is my nephew's wife, which I guess is my what did I say? My
niece-in-law?
My niece-in-law.
I think it is. Is that a real thing?
I have no idea.
Let me look it up while you tell the story.
That sounds like it. I guess so. She is an in-law because she's married in my nephew. So niece-in-law.
Let me look.
Is that it? Anyway, shout out Stephanie. She might be listening because she said she was going to listen to the podcast. But she was talking about how
is there a niece-in-law? A niece-in-law or nephew-in-law is the spouse of one's nephew or niece.
Liam Neeson-law.
A sorrel. Okay, so that's the thing. It's a real thing.
Is it niece-in-law? Okay, so she's my.
It's a niece-in-law, like hyphen. It's a thing.
So
cool.
She's my niece-in-law. Okay,
it's a thing.
And she was talking about. She said it's wild to her that women can't that when they go to the gym they don't work out their arms. Like they need to have the minimum amount of strength to what she say to like carry a thing of water bottles. Right, you need to have minimum strength to be able to like carry in your own groceries. And I kind of agreed with that. You're like really deep into this. You're getting into the in-law situation.
No, go ahead.
But she was talking about how women need to work out their arms and they're afraid that they get too bulky. But she was like, you have to have the minimum amount of strength in order to do like basic tasks, like carry in a thing of water, like a case of water.
Right.
If you can't do that, then
you're fired.
Yeah, then you're gonna need a man.
We're gonna cancel
you.
You're
not a boss bitch.
You're canceled.
Right, exactly. If you can't carry in a 12-pack of water, then you're not a boss babe. I'm sorry. Straight up. Period. End of story.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Right, you're not independent. I don't need no man. Yeah, you do when it comes to carrying a case of water.
Yeah, or you better have another girl.
Right, you better have
as a team.
Right. A more manly woman.
A more manly woman than you. A stronger woman than you. Right. Someone you can strive to be.
Exactly right. You need to look up to her.
Actually, if you could just be her, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go away. Right.
Oh, shit, that's good. That's really going to piss somebody off.
Yeah, so I like that. So that was her standard. It was like you had to have the minimum strength to carry in a case of water. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, my wife carries the water in sometimes. She has to.
Right.
She runs the Sam's Club. She'll come back with some 45 Ks.
Fuck. What else some shit that happens in your 30s? Like you had that whole...
I had a midlife crisis when I turned 30. I will say after 30, things were great, like 31, 32. And I had some friends message me and were like, really? 30? Mm-hmm. Midlife crisis? I was like, yeah, it was a real thing.
Do you ever get like, this happens to me, and it used to happen when I was in my 20s, and I think I just have a particular spot on my back that just is susceptible to it. But sometimes I'll like get up out of a chair or off the couch or something like that, laying down or whatever, and something will catch my back and I'll be like,
oh yeah,
and you don't want to move, so you're like froze and you have to like you're trying to like get out of it. I don't know how to describe it.
I will say from weightlifting, like you're sore all the time, anyways, most of the time.
Yeah.
So you don't unsore as fast. So I have to like plan out my activities a little differently.
Right. That's the reason I was doing shower squats because I was trying to
figure out, shower squat. Yeah. So
like, this is gonna suck when I work out.
Right. You're like, this is gonna.
I did 3 shower squats and I almost fell in the shower.
You're like,
right.
Well, you did fall in the shower before, but not doing squats. But yeah, like then you'll be at the gym. You're like, God, my clothes are heavy because you're doing naked squats. So it's gonna it's gonna change the game completely.
Exactly. I'm gonna get butt naked in the
just
get
naked in the shower.
Like, now I can do them.
Which is funny. You say that dude actually walked out of the locker room, not naked, but the other day, an older gentleman. He forgot his water at the machine he was on. He came out in the middle of Planet Fitness, which is all like, don't judge me. Comes out with just his gym shorts on, no shirt. Dude was like his 70s, fucking owned it, and everybody like was panicking. And I want to be like, y'all never seen a dude with his shirt off? It's not that big of a deal, people. Like the girls
does it 24/7.
Like the girls the other day I was in there came in there and she had like a tube top. That's what I was like. I can't work out in a wife beater, but she can wear a tube top.
Right.
That shows almost everything.
Right.
But that dude, everybody got weird looks when he walked out with his shirt off. I'm like, I don't know who gives a shit. I don't care if a dude worked out next to me with his shirt off. I don't care.
Right. I'm used to it. My neighbor, I think
he's got a great tan.
I think he puts a shirt on when he goes inside.
He's got a great tan.
As soon as he comes out, he takes his shirt off, and his back looks like an old boot.
Dude, even his old titty has got tan underneath it.
Yeah, dude. I seen him lift him up.
He's tan, bro. He's got a good tan.
He's got little sun reflectors that goes up under his titties.
He's not messing around.
Yeah, so the dude mows his yard like twice a week.
Oh yeah, he's always after
takes immaculate care of the thing.
Yeah, he does.
Because he has nothing else. And that I'm sorry, if I get that retirement age like that, my hobby is not going to be yard work. I'm gonna find something else.
Well, I don't know if his hobby's yard work. I mean, he probably just takes pride in his yard.
Doesn't do anything else.
I will say, in my 30s, I do take a little more pride in my yard. That I own a yard. I do take more pride into it.
When I bought this place, and
I care more about like cleaning my driveway. I like things to be. So that's part of your 30, I think, and then fixing things. Like before I got here, I was changing out the electrical receptacles in the bathroom. Kylie was going to paint tonight.
Yeah.
So I was. You get a little more weird about that, and then
but you can't sit still. You're a little different. You're like wash your truck at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. So speaking of 30, I'm glad you said that. So I've also tried in the last year where I haven't been getting up as early anymore. So before I would like procrastinate sleep because I thought I was going to miss something, which I'm not because no one's fucking up.
Right.
And then like actually one time I woke up like at 2 and I went to the gym and then I was like, well, everybody's up. It was like 3:30, 4 in the morning. I'm like, I wonder if everybody wants to go eat or something. Dude, I'm telling you, fucking freak. So now I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore because everything I've read, like you have to get your 8 hours, like to be more healthy, build muscle, whatever, is to get your 8 hours. You know, now there's a rule to the exception. Like I usually average 6. I don't average 8. 6 usually is my go-to. So I'll just get up when I get up on the weekend. Like usually it's still 6:30, 7 o'clock. But I don't get up at 5 anymore. I don't get up at 4. Like last time I got up super early when we went to Vegas because it's an event. Because
you had to.
It's an event.
Because we had a flight early.
Because it's awesome. Right. Like if it's something cool. Like if you were to like call me like Josh, we're getting up at 2 in the morning. We're gonna go fly kites. I would probably get up at 2 and go fly kites. Because it's something cool. I can't help it.
Yeah, that's when you have the best wind is right in the crack of dawn.
Yeah, you get the off the west coast. Whatever. You know, I'm not a windologist. But so that I will say that's part of it. So I don't do that anymore. But I will like you back to what you had said where you feel creaky and stuff. Like I'll get up and like ankles pop and knees pop.
I love popping joints.
I'm literally like a machine that's like I'm like the Tin Man.
Right. Oh yeah.
You got to be oil my joints.
Yeah, the little.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
like and then I break into song.
I pop every joint. I wish I could pop every joint. There's some joints I can't pop, but I would pop them all if I could.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll stretch at work and my chest will pop and stuff, and I'm like, I wish I could grow wings.
Right.
Like I'll just morph.
Pop your shoulder blades,
and I turn into like some kind of lichen. That would be dope. It's not gonna happen, but then I could just terrorize everybody in the office.
Right.
My thoughts.
Yep. I do. I wish I could do my hips. I can't really do my hips.
Yeah, I usually use a friend for a hip pop. You can YouTube it.
There's the ones I want to see someone that can pop their hips on their own. I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. I'd like to be able to pop my hips.
Just ask them their secret. You can probably YouTube it. Popping hips. You just need to get them busting.
Finger popping.
Yeah, finger popping your hips. You just put that Pop Lock and Drop It song from the 2000s. That'll help. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, so my back catches, you get weird pains. This is something else that happens to me. I don't know if it happens to you, but I'll get like a weird internal pain somewhere, like a sharp little, and then it's gone. I've heard this is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It doesn't really happen in your 20s, but it happens in your 30s.
It's a phantom. I call it it's like a little demon.
It's like it's like somebody stabbed you real quick, ran off.
Yeah,
right.
But it's always in random places.
It's always in random spots.
It could be from your pee hole to your back. It could be anywhere. You're like, ugh,
it's usually I always feel like it's like somewhere in the ribs. I feel like a little midget came up and like shanked me in the rib, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
and then it's gone.
You just don't want it to cripple you.
Right.
If he lingers stabbing, you need to go to the hospital.
Well, yeah, for like that half split second, I'm like, oh, this is how I die.
It's one of the things now where, like, if you're not...
My pancreas exploded.
It's one of the things where you're like, if I'm not shitting or pissing blood, I'm fine. If I'm not bleeding, I'm fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, that's pretty much the rule of thumb.
That's the rule of thumb.
Is if you're not bleeding, just
because now
on.
when you go to the doctor for it, they're like, no, you just lay down. Like, I need $100. I'm like, okay, great.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I haven't got, like... there hasn't been anything, like, majorly extreme since my midlife crisis of 30. Like, now I'm 32. There hasn't been anything major. Like, because... you got to think, if you add, so where we're at now, right, 35, 32, even if you add the same amount of years, it's a whole other lifetime you still got to go.
Yeah, I know.
Unless I have a heart attack or get hit by a bus or something, God forbid, but I can't plan that. But I will say I don't get bit by
Why is that always the go-to when people say, like, hit by a bus? Like, how many buses do you actually, like, come in contact
I mean,
with?
the worst accident I ever saw was Meet Joe Black, and that was a film where he got hit by 4 cars at one time.
Like, that's always things like, you might get hit by a bus. So, like, first of all, generally don't cross streets on foot.
Well, that
also and near buses.
When was the last time you saw a bus plow into a car?
Right, exactly. There's like one bus in town. Like I think the odds of me getting hit by a bus are really, really low.
Oh, I will say too, I've met some 30-year-olds who
ditch that phrase.
Who hardcore and like planning the retirement stuff. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm do one day at a time, man. Like I don't.
Same way.
They're like, "What's your 20-year plan?" I don't know. Like,
get older,
be here, get more tattoos. I don't know.
Right.
I do that in my 30s now too. I've gotten actually a lot more work done lately than my last 2 years of 30. Like for some reason, it's just easier now. Maybe because I have more money, but like I don't know, planning them and stuff has gotten a lot easier once you like breach 20 tattoos and you get past 30, then it's just like that looks cool. I should get that.
I do notice that for me, and as I dive deeper into my 30s, I care less about, not to the point where like I let myself completely go, but I don't care as much about my outward appearance as much. That makes sense. Like,
a little bit, because to me, you're not a bad dresser anyway. So like I haven't noticed it. If you are doing, I haven't noticed it. If I'm like in my like yard clothes or whatever, and I'm doing shit in the yard, or I'm just loafing around the house, now,
whatever, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go, and I gotta run to the store real quick. I'll just fucking go.
Oh,
I don't need to do a whole thing.
No.
Like, oh, this shirt, I can't wear
Crocs,
this shirt,
bro.
I just fucking throw some Crocs and roll out.
That's right.
Right. That's more of a thing in now my 30s. In my 20s, I was like, you never know, you might run into somebody. You gotta like.
Now I hope I don't run into anybody.
Now I hope I don't run into anybody. Exactly.
Unless it's someone I really want to talk to. I get excited if somebody I haven't seen in a while.
So I think more about that, and also I care less about people's opinions more than ever.
I've also enjoyed the grocery store a lot more now.
Yeah, I'm
at peace at Publix. That sounds really fucked up, but I like being there.
I think you've talked about that before.
I have before. Yeah. If you catch me at Publix, I'm in a good mood. If you catch me at unless I've got the family with me and my daughter's pissing me off, I'll be trying to catch hands, as the kids say.
The other thing I notice in my 30s as I get older is that I've definitely I drive more practical, I guess. That's the way to say it. I'm not like
you're more
I'm not bobbing and weaving through traffic.
No,
I'm not trying to like beat people at red lights and shit. Like I'm just like whatever, I'll get there.
That's how I am too. So you've kind of slowed down a bit.
Slow down, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
I used to be a speed demon pretty bad.
So on 2 wheels, I'm a lot more carefree.
That's different because that's fun.
It's fun. The 4 wheels, I'm like you. Like I do the speed limit, and I get mad at people at speed. Sorry, I can't help it.
Me too.
I don't like I get on to Kylie for this too. We'll be going like Memorial. She'll be going
we sound like we're 72.
I don't give a fuck. She'll be going. We look great for 72. Exactly. So she'll be on Memorial going like 45, and I'm like,
be retired.
And she's like, moving. I looked at her. I'm like,
it's like, bitch.
I was like, this isn't. I didn't say that. She'll choke me. I was like, what are you doing? What do you mean? I was like, why are y'all going so damn fast? You know this road. So that road is designed for 35. It's designed that way for a reason. Same as a residential area is designed for that particular speed because there's more exits and outs. People pull out in front of you more. So if you're rolling at 45 and someone pulls out in front of you, shame on them. I'm not saying I'm defending them, but that road is designed for you to intercept that particular situation. Same in a neighborhood. If you're rolling, if this is 20 and you're doing 40, and a kid walks out or runs on his bicycle, you're a jackass.
Right.
And you get pulled over, I don't feel bad for you. I do not feel bad for you. I told Kylie straight up, I said, if you get pulled over, I'm not defending you. I'll tell that cop, I told you to slow your ass down. You did not.
I didn't know you were talking about Kylie. I missed that part.
Yeah, she's a hell on wheels, dude. She
wheels.
drives fast as shit. She's a great driver, and she navigates cities really well. Like, but, dude, it's to it. Like, when I had the Mustang, when she was pregnant with Hart, she would take the Mustang almost every day.
Well, that can be the opposite. Can be a danger on the road too. Because I'm a good driver when it comes to especially like city driving, because you have to be aggressive. You can't be overly aggressive, but you have to when you're like driving in some higher, denser areas. You have to be decisive in your movement.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get run over. You're going to have to slow down. You're not going to merge in time,
Yeah.
and it's a whole fucking thing. So you have to be intentional when you're driving.
I was told there's two type of people. There's brake people and there's gas people.
Right.
As in, one of you uses speed to get out of the issue, and one of you brakes to get out of the issue. I was told that years ago, that there's two different types of people, that how you react to a situation.
I don't know what I would be. I guess I would.
You're
say
probably a gas person.
Maybe. I think I'm a half and half, because sometimes I don't know. I plan it out. If I can kind of gauge my speed, and if I need to tap the brakes a little bit to kind of like ease in behind somebody when I'm merging, I'm gonna do that. I don't feel the need to like speed in front of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I see people do that.
Sniffly. Sorry.
Right. Like, here's one of the fucking pet peeve. This drives me nuts. Is whenever you're doing a say you're taking a left turn and it's a 2-lane left.
Okay.
Right. And so whenever you're doing that turn, then it turns into a 1-lane. There's that one little bit where you have to merge.
That's right.
Right. Or even if it's straight away and you're sitting in a red light, and then after the green light, then the road merges in, whatever. And I hate whenever somebody is riding right on my quarter panel, like we're not about to fucking merge. Like, back the fuck up or move forward.
Right.
I've been going at a steady pace. I've got the same distance in front with the car in front of me, right? I'm not doing anything. I'm not speeding up, slowing down. I'm keeping the same pace, and you're just riding my quarter panel. Like, you can clearly see the merge is happening.
Yeah.
Back the fuck up. It drives me nuts.
So would you say you've got more aggressive in your 30s driving?
I'm more short with stupid.
Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense. But I'm like you. I drive cautious and like, I don't know. I don't get in a rush anymore.
Right. Well, that's what that person's doing. Is they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And there's one of them is also I have this. Maybe this is an OCD thing. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't have OCD, but everybody has their little things, OCD like things, right? But like whenever you're doing a merge, it's like a zipper. Left, then right, then left, then right, and you all kind of like a zipper you merge in, right?
Yeah.
It annoys the piss out of me when someone breaks that flow. When they have to like squeeze in that last little second to jump in front of you whenever they could have just kept their pace, and we would have all merged in just fine. And that happened to me the other day, and with some old lady wasn't paying attention, and I like a Crown Vic, and it was just super important to her that she got in front of me. On that turn, and when we were all merging, and the thing is, she had to like hammer down on her pedal. I had to brake a little bit to let her in. Unnecessary. That's how wrecks happen. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
And so, of course, me being a crazy person, I speed up, catch her. I hammer down on the gas to get around in front of her, and I get in front of her, and then I slow down to 5 miles below the speed limit.
That'll show
out of spite.
That's your 30s.
Fuck her.
That's your 30s.
Right.
30s jumping in.
Exactly.
Like
That's
that.
what I'll do.
Okay. I like it.
I'm like a revenge driver.
Vengeance will be mine.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're like Batman on the road.
A Batman on the road. Exactly.
I am vengeance.
I'm Batman.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah. No. Other than
I'll brake check people.
Other than what we like talked about, I don't know. 30s have been, like I said, I'm 32, but like I like it, and I haven't had any.
We're going to talk about my creep status.
Oh, dude, yeah. Let's listen to this.
Okay, so I guess this is going to be an ongoing saga, like a recurring segment that we're going to be doing.
You need to be easy with this in case she's listening. We don't know it.
I don't care at this point. She doesn't have any social media. She doesn't have anything. She's no way she's ever going to hear this.
Freak. We might put it in the newspaper.
Yeah, I need to put it like a
send a fax.
Misconnections in the
put on a milk carton
in the edit, whatever. Do a what is it? Those you see those misconnections on like Craigslist or whatever. Send one of those out. But okay, so maybe I shouldn't tell this, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I feel like it's not that crazy. I feel like other people have done this, and probably girls do this more often than dudes do. So I was at lunch. I leave lunch, and I decided to get a coffee on the way. So I stop at this place where I usually get coffee, and I go in, I stand in line, and in front of me there's this girl, and she's got like a really bright like floral. I don't know. It's like looks like a bathrobe that they wear. You know, like a long sweater looking thing, but it was. I don't know.
I think it's just called a long sweater.
Whatever the fuck it is.
I think it's just a long sweater.
An outside bathrobe, whatever the fuck it is. And it was shorts and a t-shirt, right? And then she was wearing like these fucking knee-high, bright-ass white boots. Like it was just too much. And so she really stuck out. And then she had like a painter's hat on.
She was like David Bowie.
Right, yeah, pretty much. She was like, she looked like Steven Tyler, right?
Okay, right.
Kind of situation going on. I don't know what, right? It was too much. A lot of clashing going on here. It was too much. She had black hair. My ex doesn't have black hair, but I was like, maybe she just dyed it after I thought it might have been her. So I'm standing there in line, and she looks kind of to one side, and I catch a profile, and that's where I first was like, oh, fuck.
You start tingling.
Right, and I was, you're right, exactly. And I was like, got uncomfortable real quick. I was like, oh, fuck.
Did you mention this is your high school sweetheart, right?
High school sweetheart, yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure it was.
Back in the Disney.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead, I'm
right,
sorry.
The one that also had a dream that she turned into a
the
cat.
One
Same
that got
one. So
away.
that's what I'm saying. This is like a recurring segment where I had a dream where she turned into a cat. Now, which someone was trying to psychoanalyze me, saying that what that means is I want to fuck my cat. I don't know, maybe. And then,
but she wasn't a cat this time.
She wasn't a cat. She was because this was in the real world. I wasn't in the dream world.
Just want to clarify.
Right,
that
I was
she
out
wasn't
of the
cat.
Matrix.
I got it. Go ahead.
So I'm standing in line. I catch a glimpse of her profile. I'm like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, shit, I think that's her. Right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure. Like, it was just for a second. Of course, I'm standing. I can't be a creeper. I can't, go stand next to her and be like, hey.
Hey, I remember you.
Shit, that's not you. Right?
Hey, how you been?
Exactly. Hey, ooh. Oh, I'm just trying to get over here to this thing.
Meet you up nice.
Right, exactly.
What?
Right.
Especially if her dad's with her.
Right. Or it'd be like on Superbad when he like punches her tit by accident and he like speed walks off.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
right, it'd be like that, right?
But her parents would be there.
Right. Exactly. So it was weird. So anyway, she gets her coffee and then turns around and goes back the opposite direction. I couldn't get her because of the way she like went off to the left. I couldn't get a face shot, and I didn't want to track her like the whole time because it would have been weird. So I wasn't sure if it was her. I get my coffee and I noticed that she had gone into the restaurant, the Hill Cafe, that's right there. So I walked by the door, and like I said, she's got the loudest outfit on, so I can easily place her.
She's with the band.
Right. So she's one of the groupies. So I walk by and I see her, and I'm pretty sure I recognized her dad. So I was like, oh, fuck, I think that is her. Shit. So I'm not 100% sure, right? And my ex does not have any social media accounts that I know of. She never had when we were dating. Never really was into that whole thing. She was very much a loner kind of temperament. Just did not get into the social aspect. She had like a couple friends. She was nice and social, but she wasn't a socialite, right? Social butterfly. So she was never big into social media ever. So she doesn't have any social. So I'm not exactly sure what she looks like. 15 years later, however long it's been. So I got to know. I'm like, I haven't seen her in forever. And so I was like, I just got to know if this is her, if she's still in town, and, if this is, what she looks like.
She likes coffee.
Right. No, I know she likes coffee. I don't remember if that was a thing, but anyway, right. But I don't know if she was like a coffee aficionado. I don't remember that. But so what are my options, right?
You could have used your Zen Z card and be like, you look like a snack girl.
Right. I could have just been bold and been like walked right up, right? But then my fear sets in. It's like, what if it wasn't her, right? Then I'd be really fucking
bigger
awkward.
fear if it was her.
It'd be a bigger fear if it was her. It'd be better if it wasn't her. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Agreed.
Yeah, and so I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna go the creep way.
Yeah.
And I go and sit in the parking lot in my truck, facing the door of the exit of the place, waiting for people to come out. And I saw scores of people come out before she ever came out.
That is true commitment.
Yeah, I probably sat there for 25, 30 minutes right? And of course, whatever.
You did a sitcom. You really watched a full sitcom.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. Yeah. Right. And so I'm just sitting there, I'm just waiting for her to come out because I need to get a face shot to see if it was her. That's all I want to know. I just want to know if it was her.
You gotta know.
Got to know if she had socials, then I would know and I'd be able to make peace with it. But because I have socials, and so if at some point she's ever like, oh, I wonder what he's been up to, you can find me. It's easy. But I can't find her, and it annoys the piss out of me. But anyway, so she finally comes out, and her car is like literally like right across from mine. Because I see her walking this way, and I'm looking through my windshield, and I'm just like trying to like, I'm really like squinting, like being like trying to really focus, involved. trying to focus in on her face, and I'm like, is that her? And I'm like, I don't think that's her, because it just doesn't look right.
Did you do the whistle? You're like,
well, I thought about that after my window wasn't down. I should have just been like, hey.
You should have said,
just like roll the window real quick, just so she like looks that direction.
Just a thespian,
right? Right, exactly. So I don't think it was her. I'm still not sure if it was her. Her face changed a lot.
So
in 15
let
years.
me ask you this: so if it was her and you confirmed it, would you still get like the butterfly nervous and like, oh,
probably, yeah.
Why is it always that first one that does
I don't know.
that? It still does to this day.
I don't know.
I don't understand it. I wish I could figure out and do an experiment like chemically and see if there's something about that first like big deal.
Well, because there's only going to be
you're
only going to have one
deal.
first, right?
Yeah.
There's only one first. You can't have another first.
But you can't even Kylie and I've talked about this. Where I even asked her one day, I was like, would you get? She's like, I'd be a nervous wreck if I saw like my high school. And I was like, it's that way still.
Right.
I said, there's something about the first one, and I don't know what it is. And maybe because it's such a new emotion at the time, and we're all young, hormonal, and like just everything's firing on 100 miles an hour, that when you think you've got it,
right,
and then there's something about it, but you can't replicate it.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm thinking like I don't think I'm crazy. Am I crazy? I feel like people want to keep up with their first. You have to at least.
So
you want to know.
Yeah. So
every once in a while, you want to know just like what they've been up to. If they're at least still alive, if they've gotten married.
There's always going to be like you'll always care.
Right.
Even if you're not like checking in daily, like don't be creepy. Yeah, obviously, like don't sit in the parking lot 30 minutes wait for them to walk out.
Shut up.
That's a homeschool thing. But I'm
homeschool weird.
No, but there and I don't know what it is.
I didn't try to like trap her in a burlap sack or anything like that.
You don't want a burlap. You make good money. You do like a nice sack, like it's gonna be a burlap, and you make sure like, hey,
I bought it from the Amish.
This is
they don't have credit cards. There's no paper trail when you buy from the Amish.
There's some high quality shit here.
Right, exactly.
I don't know, and you're right though. There's always something like in the back, way back in your mind that you're like, it's not, and it's hard to explain. You don't want to sound weird, like you don't want to call and check in.
No,
you don't want to be inappropriate, but you're almost like you can't help it. Like you try to, I would say like you check in probably once a year or so, or just
every couple years.
Or really, the thing that will trigger it for me is like you'll either see something, hear something, or smell something, or
somebody will mention her, and you're just like
trigger.
You're like, oh, I wonder what she's up to, and you'll look it up,
and you'll creep, and you'll be like, okay, she's good, she's alive, everything's fine.
Move on,
close it up. Yeah, exactly. That's
right. It's not like it's like you said. It was like, is this the one that got away? It's like, no, it's not like that. It was a mutual thing. I have no intention to like trying to find her again so we can rekindle. That's not that. No, it's just it's the first, and you just got to know.
And I was such an asshole at times too, so I'm like, that's fine. It'll be fine.
Right.
And then you one or two like I think we're good. I think both sides are good. It's a victory.
I think it would be. I don't know. It's not like I have no idea how if we say we bumped into each other and had a conversation, I have no idea how it would actually go. Because honestly,
I think it would truthfully be fun to catch up.
I think it would be. If I bumped into her, I would be like, hey, let me get your number. We'll meet up sometime and like just catch up. That's all. That would be fun to do.
Was she in the same? She didn't graduate with you, did she?
You're younger.
Shit, I must say you probably see her at your reunion, but she won't be able to.
No, she
won't be there unless she's dating someone in your class.
I'm probably go to mine anyway.
You need to go. Don't fuck around. You need to go. I had a blast at mine. You need to go.
My class tried to do our 10-year.
It's so much fun.
They tried to do the 10-year, and I think I think there was not enough people that were interested to do it because you had to pay for the venue or something like that.
The best.
To where I think it just fell apart. If it happened, I don't even remember it. I don't think it happened.
I took Garrett because Kylie had to work. We got hammered. Had a great time.
Oh yeah,
got to see all the people that were awesome then, still cool now. Got to meet up with some folks and catch up and like, you're nervous going into because you're like some of these people I hadn't seen since graduation, And it's cool when you see the ones that, you genuinely like thought they would do well, or, you're like, I hope that works out for them, because it's, they're just genuinely not an asshole piece of shit. And the majority of them did. What's funny is you see the snooty ones that are like either like super obese or like divorced a bunch. You're like, I was like, you really thought you were going places back then, didn't you? Mm-hmm. So it's only been 10 years, bitch. So
yeah, exactly.
Most of them there, we had a great time. It was fantastic. I'll be at the next one for sure.
Yeah, I may make it to the 20.
It's what you make it.
I guess I'll try to make it to the 20 year, which is coming up, I guess, in a few years now.
2008 for me. We had the one at the 10 year. And then do they do a 15, or is it up to your class?
I think it's just every decade.
Well, I thought it was 10, 20. I thought they'd do a 25. I think I would do it every 5 years, truthfully. I think it'd be dope.
Well, I mean, my 20 would come up before 25.
Well, obviously, I know that. I'm just saying, like, I thought there was like it's because they're like, people might not make it to 30. Like, maybe we'll try to shorten it up. I don't know. So, but yeah, you need to go. It's a good time. But back to what we were talking about.
Well, also back when it was my 10 year, I wasn't making as much money. So I didn't want to drop like however $100 it was.
I think ours was like $80.
I didn't want to do that.
I paid it.
And it kind of fucking fell through anyway. So I guess it just, I distinctly remember I don't think it actually happened because there wasn't enough people to get on board to pay to book the venue.
See, I was going to say, I hope maybe she could be there. I thought she was the same grade as you. I was like, maybe you could see her there, and that would be not awkward.
No.
It will be awkward.
It will be awkward. I have no idea how the interaction will, but I thrive on awkward. I'm usually able to navigate that pretty well.
It's weird.
It's weird. I usually, if anything gets super awkward, then I just start shitting all over myself, and people think it's funny.
Oh yeah, I was drunk at mine, so not like I remember everything, but I had to like relax. Like that's when I walked up, and they were like, I brought cash for the event, like to pay for my drinks. Like I'll just bring cash because I was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. So we walked up to get a beer, and they were like, do you want to open a tab? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Here's my card. And I was like, fuck. Never mind.
Here we go.
Yeah, dude. They ended up like passing out free drinks in there too. But yeah, we mingled, drink. There was a dance floor, so they did a pretty good job.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, I will make that promise if my 20 year does go through, or 15, I guess that would be next year, I guess. Then I'll go to it.
You need to go.
I'll report.
It's a great time. If you thrive on awkward too, especially, it's great.
Yeah.
We're gonna find this lady. We're gonna have her on the show. We need to try to find her. Okay. If you're listening, come on the show with us.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Reach out.
Reach out. Absolutely. Message in.
Slide in my DMs.
Send us a fax. If you want to, if you don't, if she sounds Amish, like if she doesn't have like she's a carrier pigeon. I'm waiting for an owl to fly.
She was always very fashion forward. We'll put it that way.
Okay, just not technologically. She doesn't want to be
apparently,
social.
Yeah,
if she's fashionable enough, she's got to have an Instagram somewhere. You just haven't.
I don't think so. I think she just did it just for her.
Do you know anyone that has knows her? Like another friend. That's how you find out, bro.
Maybe.
Depends on how much you care.
Like I said, she didn't have.
This could be the one that got away. This could be your future wife.
She did back then have one really close friend that I could hit up. That might.
Do you want to call him on the show?
But I don't. She moved away. So like she's in Texas now, and she got married. So I don't know. She may have actually lost contact with her as well. I honestly don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna let fate decide, I suppose.
Yeah, we need to.
Since she doesn't have socials, crazy. It's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy. Who doesn't have? So you know who doesn't have social media? Serial killers.
That's true. Well, they do, but it's fake ones.
Right. So serial killers don't. Right. They're fake. They're just there's a honeypot.
I understand.
Right. It's a trap.
I like that.
Right. Dude. Mass shooters or whatever. They just have social media so they can post their manifestos or whatever. But that's who doesn't have social media.
We need to. I was thinking about this now that we've mentioned females and such. We need to have a female on the show with us to get another opinion on some of the shit we talk about from a female perspective.
Right.
Which I think would be fucking hilarious. I'd get my wife on, but I feel like it'd be biased and a lot of stuff, and then she'd probably call me out the entire show, which might be hysterical.
I keep using the word female. My brother hates whenever straight guys say the word female.
Why?
Because he perceives it as like we're just like dirty cavemen. Like where the females at?
Oh no, that's what she is. I mean, I might say I'm gonna actually next time I see him, I'm gonna say that in front of
where
everybody.
The females?
Yeah, bitches come. I didn't say that.
I'm like, I kind of get it. Whenever when you refer to them in their scientific.
Yeah, because they don't walk in and they'll be like, "Where's the males at?" Like,
right?
Ugh. It just sounds bad. Okay, so I take that back.
You know
what
I'm saying?
So let me take it back. Let me start
now.
over.
With that, he tells me that. Now, of course, I say it even more because it's
because it pisses him off. I instantly like to instigate. Well, let me just go ahead and let me rephrase what I said. I'd like to have a woman on the show.
Yes,
to give some perspective on things. Yeah, there you go. I like that better.
Right.
Yeah, someone maybe like colonial chic.
Right, because we as men have a tendency to, we need a leash.
Yeah, he's want to rail us
we're
back.
running all over the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So we need to get railed. You know, not get railed. We need to get.
I need to get
rained.
drilled.
We need to get rained back in. God, what is with my Freudian slips? And they all go gay for some
sexual
reason.
Immediately. Like, I don't know, man. First, you haven't slept with that many dudes, and then like now you just mentioned like we need to get railed.
I need to get railed.
I'm waiting for like a jester to jump out behind me. Who's ready? They got like a balloon animal.
Time for your monthly railing. No, Bozo, no.
I want you to.
Why'd you go to clowns also?
Well, because we just watched Modern Family.
Okay.
And Cam and Mitchell. Like Cam's always like his sleepwalking is like Mitchell woke up and he was dressed like a clown. Cam was sleeping and he was like, "Oh my!" Woke up scared and he's like, "I don't sleepwalk. I sleep clown." And he'll dress himself up.
Yeah,
and it was so funny because he's a big guy already.
And it's like farm clown.
Oh yeah, it's like a farm clown. Like
It's like got
it's
overalls
terrifying.
on and everything.
Overall,
Like a straw hat.
it's super creepy, but it's so funny. That's what I was thinking about a clown. Plus, I hate clowns, so it's perfect.
Who likes clowns? Like really?
I think some children enjoy
back in the
clown.
day.
Yeah, even Bozo was creepy. It was in black and white. It was
Right.
fucked up looking.
I feel like just clowns are creepy. Like there's other characters that people can dress up and children would enjoy.
To me, like
fucking clowns.
wasn't Gacy that serial killer that was a clown?
John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah, wasn't he? I think he was. That's what inspired the Pennywise from Stephen King's It.
Maybe it was.
No, it's not maybe my ass. It's for real. That's canon.
Was it John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah,
Let's
pull
that
it
shit
up. Look it up.
You Google it.
You Googleizer.
I'm an excellent you Google.
I'm pretty sure that was
one who speaks at funerals. Or do you think I was too stupid to know what a you Googly was? Zoolander.
That's
Love
a
that
great
fucking movie.
That's so good.
John Wayne Gacy.
I'm almost positive that he was a clown.
Now I'm looking this shit up. My fucking advertisements are going to be like for knives and shit.
Or clown paint.
Clown paint. John Wayne Gacy.
It's better than dildos, I guess.
He was an American serial killer and sex offender who raped, tortured, and murdered at least 33 young men and boys. Fuck.
All right, I'll be honest with you right now. I didn't know his.
Gacy regularly performed at children's hospitals and charitable events as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown.
I told you.
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to read too much into that because it's fucked up.
You gonna have nightmares?
No, I'm not a kid. I'm not his demographic. I'm just saying, like
He became known as the Killer Clown.
That's what was inspired to that particular. If you've never seen it, if you haven't, you need to watch it. That's what Pennywise the Clown was referenced to. That
out of Chicago.
When he feasted on Chicago's got enough problems now too.
Oh, he would lure his victims to his home and dupe them into donning handcuffs on the pretext of demonstrating a magic trick.
I'm not gonna say shit.
Sick fuck.
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna make jokes about that because I already have it fucked up mine anyways. I don't need to.
Jesus.
But anyways, back to the clown thing. But yeah, that's I knew as soon as like who likes clowns. Like, dude, I remember seeing there was a.
He's a Democrat.
Yes, makes sense. Thanks a lot. Well, Chicago, I fucking knew it. Is that fuck?
I like it. I like how Wikipedia
affiliates.
has like that. Has like his political affiliation, political party, Democrat.
Well, perfect.
Right.
No, he. But yeah, there was a documentary series on Netflix, I think, with like different serial killers. He was on there. There was a whole special on him, and I never watched it, and I didn't know it was kids. I didn't know that.
Well, they had that fucked up clown on American Horror Story too.
Oh, that was
very John
wasn't
Wayne Gacy.
Patches.
Like
it was
something. It was fucked. That was a scary ass mask.
As his face was his face, mouth was missing.
His mouth was fucked up. Yeah, his jaw was like all fucked up and missing. It's gross. I did not know that. I didn't realize that was John Wayne Gacy. I mean, I've heard of that serial killer. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know he was had like an alias.
Pogo the Clown.
Pogo the Clown. Pogo and kids. I didn't know that.
Pogo the Clown.
Come here, boy. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's fucked up, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I think they put him on death row. I think they killed his ass.
What is it with? This seems to be a woman thing. They're obsessed with crime stories and like serial killers and all this other kind of stuff.
I don't know
why.
I don't know.
Like my mom would, growing up, she would
Snapped.
She would like
it's a popular one.
She would watch. It was like a guilty pleasure. Like she would just watch the news just to hear about like a stabbing or a rape or something that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Good old download murder.
I always knew whenever something happened that was like just a few streets over because I'd hear about it. She'd be like, "Now you be careful. You don't go." It's like, all right.
Well,
chill.
so I know Kylie really likes to watch like the first 48 because she used to want to do detective work and stuff back in the day.
Why does that attract? Why is that a?
I don't know if it's a woman.
women-
I don't. And then she used to watch Snapped. It's like the women would get revenge. It was like a Black Widow spider type thing. And I'm like, I'm going to end up out back.
We do need to get a woman on because I feel like I got some questions.
We can.
We can ask them this
well, I'll tell you
stuff.
what. When you get back from Alaska, we'll do a Friday recording and we'll have Kylie come on the show and we'll do a full thing.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, dude. She'll be nervous at first, and hopefully what she'll do is put on her country accent real thick like she did on our first date. Hopefully she'll bring it and just don't acknowledge it like I did. I mean, she had the whole. She's gonna kill me for hearing this. So I picked her up. We're like, I'll do this. How much? What's our time at? Are we good?
Hour and a half. We're good.
All right. Well, I'll do this story, then we'll say goodbye. So I picked. We had a college class together, whatever. Mm-hmm. Long story short, I lost. I didn't know who she was. Like I didn't see her for another year. We both dropped out of school pretty much. So I messaged her. I saw her one time at Black Horse where she was working. I got tattoos across the street. I walked over, got dinner. I'd never been to the pub before.
You were like,
oh. Yeah. Well, so she walked by and I was like,
little Miss Thing from class.
Like, I know that girl because I used to watch her walk to her truck after class because I'm disgusting.
Okay, and I'm the creep.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I didn't wait 30 minutes to watch her out of
You
class.
You would have.
No, I wouldn't have, probably. But anyway, so she was always on my radar. Like, she's really attractive.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, she looks good. So I saw her and I was like, I knew somebody worked at the pub. I was like, I don't know her name. I didn't know her name. And I wasn't going to, I don't hit on women or do that back even when I was younger, like while they're working. I didn't like slip my number because I'm like, that's your place of work. Like, I don't want to do that. So
also, you can't really get a true gauge of the reaction because they're at work. They're supposed to. They're going to be like.
And I wasn't like
they can't. They
I wasn't
have to
like
be nice.
stricken with game. I was 21. Like I'm still the guy that got dumped a lot. Let's put it that way. I was nervous. So I found out her name from somebody I knew. I had to like message some friends. I was like, I need to know this girl's name. So finally, I got a name, just a first name. I was like, cool. So I found it. I was like, pretty sure this is her. So me being on Facebook, I was like,
Facebook sleuth.
So I Facebook messaged like, hey, what's going to be at a class or whatever. And she was like, oh. She had no idea who the fuck I was because my profile pic, I was in a dirt bike helmet and it was private. So there was no pictures of me.
Right. She's like, who the fuck is
so
this
she
guy?
we're just going along. And I was like, so we talked 10, 15 minutes. And then at the end of it, I was like, well, I got to go to work. But, and I was like, I'm just going to go for it. You
Don't
dumbass.
be a bitch. Right.
So I was like, here's my number. If you want to like talk to number, go out or whatever. Like, I just wanted to like, I was super cash, whatever. Like, meh. Dork.
Super.
So then, as soon as I hit send, I'm like, this fucking loser. And I hit it. And I'm like, she's never going to text you, dumbass. Like, you sounded so pathetic. So I go off to work.
Pussy ass response.
Yeah, weak ass hoe bitch. Me sent that. So like, I sent it, and then not like an hour, 2 hours later, I get my phone message. It's probably just one of the boys, whatever. And it was her. And I was like, oh shit, like, dude, no way. So we're talking and stuff, and like, this is it. This is it. This is it. So we just like put two songs. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. So, well, I was like, we should go out sometime, like whatever. So I was like, do you want me to pick you up? We'll meet up since we don't really know each other. She still has no idea who I was. Mm-hmm. So we meet up at Subway at exit 11, and I'm in that fucking Honda I had that was like the loudest car on the planet Earth.
Oh yeah, I remember that thing.
So she jumped in. We're going to Hendersonville. I like the Indian Lakes area for dinner and stuff. You've been there a bunch. It's a great little area.
Did you go to Red Robin?
It's better than here. No, Cheddar's.
Okay.
So doing this, I didn't have any money. So
couldn't afford Red
Robin. They're like, it's bottomless fries. I'm like, I can't afford your unlimited fries.
So really could have got her with the Nana Moo Moo.
Yeah. So we're driving. Well, so as we're talking, by the way, she still had no idea which one was me. So she was like, I guess semi okay with it being me. So we're driving. Well, she like puts on, and I don't remember having this act. We hadn't talked in person.
Right.
This was our first time interacting in person together, besides a little bit here and there in class.
Right. Just a, hey, how you doing?
And it was just like, what are you doing? It was just like, well, I'm good. How are you? Like, it was so fucking thick. And I'm like, I don't remember. And I thought maybe she did. I'm like, this is great. It sounded cute. It was really noticeable, but I don't think she knew she was doing it. She was nervous. So, and then like, of course, after that first date, we haven't missed a day together in 10 years now. But I was like, finally one day I called her at like 6 years. I was like, why'd you have such a weird, fucked up accent? Like, you're not, your family's from up north and you're an army brat. And she was like, I didn't do that. I'm like, oh no, you did do that. That'll be your little secret. Yeah, dude. So hopefully she'll do it again if she's nervous, because it's so funny. Because it's, you've known her just as long as I.
Well, don't let her listen to this episode because now she
won't. She's a couple behind, so she's good. So
all
this one, dude, I hope she does, because I've already mentioned her coming on the show, and she was like, I don't know about that. I'm like, it's only like a couple million viewers that we have that listen every day.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But yeah, she's a nervous Nelly. And of course, you're always nervous the first time you do this. Like you and I were. Because I remember the first time we ever podcasted was the 2020 election. Mm-hmm. Because that was the night Trump took over Hillary. Fuck. Like,
you mean 2016?
That's what I said, 2016. That was the first time
was it really?
That was the first time that I ordered the USB mics. I really fucked up that election thing. My bad, guys. I'm not sorry. Anyway, so that's when we had the USB mics, and we did it sitting on your coffee table at my house. No, your house.
My house.
Our apartment. We lived across the street from each other. Yeah. Well, that was our first time we did a recording. We never posted it. That was our first recording, and then we bought better mics.
Yeah, that's right.
That was on a whim. We talked about the election because it was happening, and then just BS. We did like a 2-hour show and never posted it. So we've been doing this a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
You talking about Awesome Sauce?
Awesome Sauce, our very first time using microphones and recording was the night of the election.
Now we didn't post. Then we did.
And then we
had Garrett on.
Bringing Garrett on. We started Awesome Sauce.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, dude.
Only like 2 episodes.
Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
everyone's gonna be a little nervous. Even people I've alluded to be like, hey, yeah, we should get you on or whatever. They always say like, oh, you guys sound like so good on the mics, and you just
I'm getting Crunk on too.
All this kind of stuff. And
He'll be on here.
I'll be a nervous Nelly, and I'm like, you'll be fine.
It's just
you forget that
you
it's
don't
sitting
worry
in front
about
of your
it, man.
face,
It's
and
awesome.
you're just like shooting the breeze with your bros. That's all
it's fun.
It's
I enjoy the shit out of it.
Relax.
So next week will be me and a special guest. I don't know who yet. You'll know when I record it because Creep here's leaving. Creep. I don't know. Sorry, that was your gamer tag. My bad. Zach's leaving. Whoops. Zach's leaving for Alaska. So I'll do a special next week. Unless something happens, I'm not saying it will, but unless something mechanically fails on the computer, then we'll be behind a week. But we'll post the following. I should be fine. I'm just giving everybody a heads up if there's not one.
Yeah,
because things happen. I'm not saying that it will. Just things happen. So I'll have a special guest. So we don't know who's going to be. It's going to be a little surprise. So
I'm leaving all my shit here, so you should be able to do it.
I'll be able to handle it. I can call you.
Yeah, it's fine. I can walk you through it. It's not a big deal. I have to give you my pen to my computer so you can do your thing.
I'll do it.
Not a big deal.
I'll do it, man. That's all I got, man. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. We're clocked in a little over an hour and a half, which seems to be our standard time.
Our standard time. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, comment, share us. For the love of God, share our post.
Exactly.
I don't want to sound needy.
I'm begging you.
I'm begging you.
I'm on my knees.
I'm on my wits end.
Share the fucking podcast.
Share it.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Later.